The old hospital stood shrouded in darkness. A lone figure, Nurse Sarah, began her shift. The night was quiet, deceptively calm. Sarah made her rounds, the silence broken only by her footsteps. She felt a chill. A whisper of unease brushed against her skin. The air grew colder. Goosebumps formed on her arms. She shook off the feeling. It was an old building, bound to have drafts. She continued her rounds, unaware of the shadows lengthening around her. The night was young, but something felt different. Wrong. The fluorescent lights flickered. Sarah paused, her heart skipping a beat. The hallway seemed darker now, colder. The hum of electricity intensified, then faded. Silence descended once more, heavier this time, laden with unseen menace. A sound, faint, almost imperceptible. Was it a child humming? Sarah froze. The pediatric wing was closed, deserted. Yet the humming continued, a melancholic tune, full of sorrow. It seemed to beckon her, pulling her towards the darkness. Curiosity warred with fear. Sarah knew she should turn back, but the haunting melody drew her closer. Step by hesitant step, she moved toward the sound. The air grew heavy, oppressive. The humming grew louder, clearer. It seemed to emanate from behind a locked door. The door to the old pediatric ward. Sarah's hand trembled as she reached for the handle. It was cold, unnaturally cold, like touching ice. She hesitated. Then slowly, she pushed the door open. The ward lay shrouded in darkness. The humming stopped. The silence was deafening, a thick blanket that seemed to smother every sound. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest, each beat echoing in her ears like a drum. She could feel the cold, sterile air of the hospital seeping into her bones, chilling her to the core. Silence pressed in on her, suffocating. It was as if the walls themselves were closing in, the darkness growing thicker with each passing second. She strained her ears, hoping to catch any sound, any sign of life, but there was nothing. Just the oppressive silence. Then a flicker of movement in the distance. Her breath caught in her throat as she squinted into the darkness, trying to make out what it was. The flickering lights cast eerie shadows on the walls, making it difficult to discern reality from illusion. A small figure at the far end of the hallway. It was barely visible, just a shadowy outline against the dim light. Sarah's pulse quickened as she took a hesitant step forward, her curiosity battling with her fear. A little girl in a hospital gown. The girl turned. Her movements were slow, almost mechanical, as if she were a puppet being controlled by invisible strings. Sarah's mind raced, trying to make sense of what she was seeing. Her face, pale and gaunt, emerged from the shadows. The girl's skin was almost translucent, her features sharp and haunting. Sarah felt a shiver run down her spine as she locked eyes with the apparition. Her eyes, wide and vacant, seemed to stare right through Sarah. They were like dark, empty voids, devoid of any emotion or recognition. It was as if the girl were looking into Sarah's very soul, seeing all her fears and insecurities laid bare. No recognition, no emotion, only a chilling emptiness. The girl's expression was completely blank, her face a mask of indifference. It was as if she were a ghost, a remnant of a life long gone. The girl opened her mouth as if to speak, but no sound emerged. Her lips moved silently, forming words that Sarah couldn't hear. It was a silent scream, a cry for help that would never be heard. Then, in a blink, she was gone, vanished into thin air. Sarah stood frozen, her mind reeling from what she had just witnessed. The hallway was empty once more, the darkness and silence returning to envelop her. She was left alone, face to face with her fear. Panic surged through Sarah. She stumbled back, heart pounding against her ribs. She had to get out, now! She ran, fleeing the oppressive darkness of the ward. Her mind raced, trying to rationalize what she had seen. She found Dr. Harris in his office, his face etched with concern. He listened patiently as Sarah recounted her experience. His expression remained unchanged, but a knowing look flickered in his eyes. When she finished, he sighed. "It's Emily," he said softly. "The little girl." Dr. Harris's voice was low, heavy with sadness. He had seen many patients come and go, but Emily was different. She had left an indelible mark on his heart. Emily was a patient here many years ago, a bright, cheerful child, full of life. His voice cracked slightly. She had a way of bringing light into the darkest of days, even when her own were numbered. She had a rare disease, one that baffled even the most experienced doctors. Despite the pain and uncertainty, Emily never lost her smile. Spent most of her short life within these walls. She loved to hum. Her humming was like a gentle lullaby that echoed through the sterile corridors. Said it made the pain go away. It was her way of coping, of finding solace in a world that seemed so unfair. Dr. Harris looked at Sarah. She was a new nurse, and the story of Emily was one she had only heard in whispers. His eyes filled with a mixture of pity and fear. He knew the weight of the tale he was about to share. She passed away in that ward. The room had never felt the same since. It was as if her presence lingered, a silent guardian watching over the place she once called home. Some say her spirit never left. He paused. The hospital staff often spoke of strange occurrences, of a soft humming that could be heard late at night. You're not the first to see her. Many have reported sightings of a little girl wandering the halls, her presence both comforting and eerie. She appears from time to time, always when someone needs hope, or a reminder of the fragility of life, always humming that same melancholic tune. A tune that once brought her comfort, now serves as a haunting reminder of her enduring spirit. Dr. Harris placed a comforting hand on Sarah's shoulder. She shivered slightly, the cold air of the hospital seeping into her bones. The dim lights flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Don't be ashamed of what you saw, Sarah. Emily means no harm. She's just lost, searching for peace. His grip tightened, a subtle but firm reminder of the gravity of the situation. But be careful. The hospital at night is not what it seems. This hospital, it holds many secrets. Dark secrets. Secrets that have been buried for years, hidden behind the walls and in the shadows. The kind of secrets that can change a person forever. And some things are best left undisturbed. The past has a way of creeping back, especially in a place like this. A place where time seems to stand still, and the echoes of the past linger in every corner. His words hung in the air, heavy and foreboding. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. She knew she had to be cautious, but curiosity gnawed at her. What was Emily searching for? What peace did she seek? A chilling reminder that some doors should remain closed, some stories untold. The hospital was a labyrinth of memories, each door a portal to a different time, a different story, and not all of them had happy endings, and some spirits are better left undisturbed. Emily's presence was a testament to that, a lost soul, wandering the halls, searching for something she might never find. Her story was a tragic one, and Sarah couldn't help but feel a pang of sorrow for her. The night shift had just begun. The hospital was coming to life in its own eerie way. The staff moved like shadows, their faces etched with the weariness of countless night shifts. But for Sarah, the night was just beginning. But for Sarah, the hospital's eerie silence would forever be haunted by the phantom melody of a lost little girl named Emily. The haunting tune echoed in her mind, a constant reminder of the secrets that lay hidden in the shadows. And as the night wore on, Sarah knew that she would never forget the warning that echoed in the halls.